great day. And America is now blood and tears instead of milk and honey. The youngsters who were programmed to continue bucking.
The United States of America has gotten out of the black people business. They're not in that business no more. The only thing we can do for them is go to jail. And when we go to jail, they make money. We're flipping the script at Black Star now. It's a takeover. It's a takeover. It's a takeover. See, a lot of people ask me, they say, well, Philip, who gave you permission to start a school, to start 20 schools? Who gave you permission? And I have to tell them, do I look like the kind of black man who asked for permission? You got me mixed up with somebody else if you think I have to ask for permission to educate black children.
Us living as we do upside down.
I'm most proud right now of the Saturday University teaching black people how to teach their children. You know, that connects me to my slave ancestors. This reminds me of when we were in slavery, of how we had to teach each other to read, how we had to teach each other to cipher or to do math. That's what I'm most proud about.
We have an age groups where it's from K through 3 for the first section. The second section is 4th through 7th grade. We analyze what the strengths are, where they may need help. Some children are more advanced than others, so if they're more advanced, we kind of like focus on their abilities and kind of elevate them. But we try to make sure that they're at least up to par to where they should be, or a grade too high.
Saturday University was created by black people. It was created by a community. It was community driven, community created, community run.
We want to make our children scholars so they can compete with the rest of the world, with the Chinese population that's doing real well as far as education, with the Russians, with the Indians. We want to make sure, because it's becoming a global economy, we want to make sure our African American kids can actually compete.
Woke up one night digging ball.
My background is business. I'm a business guy. I went to school, studied philosophy in school, but I'm a business guy. And so I was doing very well in business, left business, went into government. I did very well in government. I worked for 7.5 years for Mayor Daley as one of his top troubleshooters in the city of Chicago. I was a chief of staff for the schools, chief of education for the city of Chicago. I was a CEO of the Chicago Housing Authority, so I did okay. And in doing okay, I said, wow, I must have some mad skills if they're willing to pay me all this money to do their thing. I said, so what if I take that same skill set and I do my thing and I start doing things to improve my community? And that's how I got into this business.
And America is now blood and tears instead of milk and honey.
It's educate or die. And so we're saying, okay, if we have to get the fathers working, then we get the fathers working. If we got to help rebuild a family, then we help rebuild a family. If we got to provide safe passage for our children, then we provide safe passage for our children. This is no longer in their hands. They have failed our communities, our children. They have failed our families miserably. When I say they, I'm talking about the institutions and structures that be. It is to their benefit. Education has become a $1 trillion business in America. $1 trillion. And it is a business that benefits and runs very smoothly with most of the black children not performing up to standard. Most of the black children. With many of the black children failing miserably.
Paul Revere and Nat Turner as the good guys.
We're putting soldiers on the streets to save our children, to get fathers mobilized. You see, everybody talks about safe passage. That's what the word is. See, safe passage is a misdirection cue. So everybody pointing over here when we should be going over there. So they say safe passage, safe passage. What about educate black children? Educate black children. They're not saying that. Men are basically left out of the education of children in America. I don't know if it was by design, if it's still intentional. That's the way it is. Fathers are basically not invited to be a part of their children's education. Well, we're inviting them in. We're telling fathers that in order for your children to be successfully educated in America, you must participate. You must be active. You must be the guiding force behind your children's education. And once again, a lot of educators say, oh no, you can't say that. We don't want you to say that. And some educators say, we don't even want those fathers around. For the Million Father March, there are schools who say, don't ask those men to come up to our school. Those men are fathers.
We have to identify the difference between making excuses for what we're doing and the reason for why stuff happened. 93.5% of Asian Americans graduate from high school. 83 of white people graduate from high school. Okay? 71% of Hispanics graduate from high school. 10 years, it was 61. 10% point in 4 years. Okay? 4 years, they jumped from 61 to 71. Okay, Native Americans, 69%. Black people are graduating from high school when they come in as a freshman and they leave as a senior. 66% of them are graduating from high school.
You see 10 young black men. Some people look at 10 young black men and say, wow, that's $1 million if I can just get them in the joint, that's 100,000 per total, in terms of the court costs, paying the bailiffs, the judges, the lawyers, the public defenders, paying all them people. And every young black man is worth $100,000. 10 years, 600 cities this year. 600 cities all over the country. They're doing what we're doing right now. 600 cities. In New York, Atlanta, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, San Francisco, California, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Minneapolis, all 600 cities. Memphis, Tennessee, 600 cities. They're doing what that sign says, the Million Father March.
We learn to our amazement the untold tale of scandal.
So we will educate black children. We will find ways to put black people to work. We will find ways to rebuild our community. We will find ways to make our children safe, because they're not doing it.
The point is, in terms of our young men, and I don't want to leave out our girls, but I think we put more effort into the girls. And just, my son is in school now. I do have him in a charter school, but there's no male teachers. So he's in 6th grade, and as an educator, adult educator, we know our black men or even white men don't go into education. And we've heard those stories for a long time, but you have men and young boys in school, and they have no male teachers to see on a day-to-day basis. Now they may go home, dad is there, uncle there, grandfather's there.
That's kind of unlikely what you just said.
In some cases. In some cases. But I think if they're in the schools 8 hours, the one male teacher you may see, or not even a teacher, is probably the security guard.
When we talk about, this is a takeover, how do you partner with other organizations that are using the same guerrilla tactics, in the sense where it's like, we don't care, we're not asking nobody's permission, we're just doing it? Do you find it difficult to partner with them, or are they open, people that have the same intersecting mission?
I don't know what these people are. Who are you talking about? I walk up, I walk up and down the streets of Chicago. In any neighborhood I go up into, I know everybody, and I don't see people on this same mission that you're talking about, the one that we're talking about. I'm looking for people who want that. I beg people, I pay people who want what you just said, and I can't find them. I can. Now maybe someone else can, but for me, this is real simple. Hey girl.
How you doing?
Educate or die.
Look, those young men, we're not the same young men
I know.
when they first came.
I know.
They are awesome. Ooh,
Wait,
I love
now,
that.
do
I'm
you-
keeping in touch with some of
Do
them.
you know that all of them had a case? Every one of them had a case.
That's what happens when you give them time and love and ooh.
Thank you.
love it.
She's talking about, we worked with 140 young black men who all had a case. I don't know if a case means that they were involved with the law. Some for attempted murder, burglary, armed robbery. They sent us 140 of them young brothers. And the first day, they acted like they were going to destroy the world. You put 140 young black men who don't know each other, they all got a case in the room. They acted like they were going to destroy the world. We worked with them for 6 weeks, and you just heard her testimony. She said they were not the same young men, and they weren't. They were transformed. Look, I'm going to say this, and I don't get too emotional. Somehow, and I don't even know, I was there, I saw them every day. Somehow those same young men were filled with love when they left the program. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm talking about some of them, they couldn't even be in the same room because they were with different sets. They were with different cliques. But when they left the program, they were filled with love.
You have to be to the point to get a school, get people around you, so we can get black men. We're going to continue to support you with the million, but I'm going to tell you now, to be honest with you, all this marching and stuff, y'all.
Before you go, can you just have a seat for a second?
Yeah.
Number one, I'm what you call a free black man. I refuse to be on the plantation, and that's why when you ask me, we consider getting a charter school. Now, I'm not going to be on a charter school plantation. Well, what I consider, a lot of people said, if they offer you a big job at the public schools, would you take it? No, I'm not going to be on the public school plantation. Well, what if the Chicago Teachers Union said, we'll pay you? I'm not going to be on the Teachers Union plantation. I'm not on any plan. I'm a runaway slave. I'm a free black man. My people have not been supporting me in educating black children. So I appreciate what you're saying, that you're putting it on me. Brother, I'm a free black man doing what I need to be doing. I'm putting it on you. But brother, I'm putting it on you now.
Okay,
because I can't get black people to come and teach black children. I can't. Brother, just stand up just for a second.
Okay.
I got to go get white men. I got to go get white men and come educate black children, because black men, black people will not come out to educate black children. So I'm putting it on you, brother.
Okay.
The youngsters who were programmed to continue bucking up woke up one night digging Paul Revere and Nat Turner as the good guys.
So we're saying, as Mother said earlier, it's a revolution. It's a takeover. We're telling fathers they must take over. They must take over the education of their children. Otherwise, their children are going to continue to be destroyed.
America stripped the bed and we had not all
We have operating kits. If someone were interested in starting a Saturday university, they would simply call us, 773-285-9600, email us, or go to our website, contact us, and say, I want to start a Saturday university in my community. And we will send them everything that they need in order to launch a Saturday university, where the community controls the learning of the children.
were revolutionary code names that preceded the bubbling, 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 bubbling in the mother country's crotch. What does Webster say about soul? All I want is a good home and a wife and a children and some food to feed them every night. After all is said and done, build a new route to China.
And we need more men like you.
Get black.